about it.
Visit OnFireTV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.
Okay, in here, of course, the DiamondKShow.com, OnFire-TV.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. So, I guess the inevitable happened when they put a reward out. They put a reward out for the squeegee kid, and surprise, surprise, they have arrested this young man, 15 years old, was 14 at the time of the tragedy. So we heard today for the first time from attorneys representing the now 15-year-old squeegee kid. And, this is in the murder of the 48-year-old Timothy Reynolds. So an attorney representing this young man, they called him Tavon, said in a news conference that the teen was merely defending himself when Reynolds reportedly got out of his car and came towards the group of squeegee workers, kids, while swinging a baseball bat. So that is going to be the defense, and I assume that would be the defense, self-defense. That is what the team for this teenager is going to do. So the teen was arrested in Essex yesterday. Oh, and they're pushing this thing along. Gordon said that this case, J. Wendell Gordon is one of the attorneys, and Warren Brown is another attorney. So Gordon says that this case does not warrant first or second degree murder charges. What are y'all doing, right? They're saying this is self-defense. And of course, they want to see this case move to the juvenile justice system. And he was 14 at the time, is now 15 years old. That's definitely a juvenile. Now, just let me paint a picture real quick. Let's say that, because some people's energy is wrong. The energy is off. This is a boy. He's 14 years old at the time. Last week, he was 14 years old last week. Now he is 15 years old. And at the heart of this, the attorney, Warren Brown, says that any kid that is 14 years old, 5'6", 126 pounds, approached by a 6'2", 220-pound adult with a bat is going to be in fear. Let me say that again. This squeegee kid was 14 years old, 5'6", 126 pounds, approached by an angry adult who was 6'2", 220 pounds, swinging a bat. He was in fear. Justifiably so, he was in fear. Wouldn't you be in fear under these circumstances? Now, Attorney Warren Brown offered condolences to the Reynolds family, but notes that Reynolds, the adult, should not have confronted the squeegee kids, including his client, with a baseball bat. Right. He's the adult. Now, let's flip this. Let's say that the adult that was killed was a black male, 6'2", 220 pounds. And let's say that the squeegee kid was a 14-year-old white kid. Oh, the energy would be so different. Why didn't that adult stay in the car? Oh, this young kid was so scared. And they would be talking about how he was a safety in school and how he passed out Bibles in church and how he was, they would be painting a whole different picture. Painting a whole different picture than the picture that they're going to try to paint this kid in. So the attorneys, and so they're calling him Tavon, said he was merely defending himself. Attorney Warren Brown said that his client has no juvenile record and that the teen had adults who were close to him that do drugs. So this young man, Tavon, did what he could do to raise money, honestly. So they're going to present a case that this squeegee kid didn't have a lot of options. Coming from an environment that was riddled with drug abuse, they're going to paint that picture. Now, I know some of y'all are out there rolling your eyes. I can see you virtually rolling your eyes right now. But that is the case. That's many kids' life. And according to Attorney Warren Brown and J. Wendell Gordon, that is the case that they are going to lay out for this young man, Tavon. Right? Tavon. Okay. So Kyle Rittenhouse situation. Thank you, Christian on YouTube. Says that the Kyle Rittenhouse situation is a perfect mirror. Oh, you are. Thank you, fam. You are right. So here we have, I said, let's pretend that we had something. So we have that. And I think that Rittenhouse was a little bit older, right? A little bit older. Oh, but he was in fear, right? He was in fear. And, it's amazing. It's amazing. But this is where we are. A squeegee kid, 14 years old, now 15 years old. 5'6", 126 pounds, approached by a 6'2" adult male, 220 pounds, swinging a bat. Oh, that's definitely going to instill some fear. It's definitely going to instill some fear. But they're laying it out. They're laying out the defense. This is going to be the defense. Let's see what Fields One has to say on YouTube. Told you. This man is white. Sean Suiter and Torbett case will go unsolved. Fields One, for those of you that don't know, yeah, he predicted to me earlier this week that this case was going to be, they were going to get the assailant, the accused shooter, somebody. They were going to charge somebody with this, and he said they wouldn't do it real quick. And, so that's true. And I think that is in part because of the reward that he put out there. Okay. We already said that the background of this young man and those around him, not a lot of money. So putting out a reward of thousands of dollars, that's going to turn up some, that's going to get some people to turn on him. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, this is just getting started. So bail denied for the squeegee kid charged with murder. Is he a flight risk? Bail denied. The mayor's office wanted to get them off the street. No? Yes? Where does the mayor stand with all this? Where does the state's attorney stand with all this? So generally speaking, whoever becomes the state's attorney, they have different views on how to handle squeegee workers. Marilyn Mosby says she doesn't want to go after squeegee workers. Vignaraja does want to go after squeegee workers. Right? And Ivan Bates is probably somewhere in the middle. But this murder in Baltimore's downtown Inner Harbor area has gotten national attention. Once again, Baltimore on the national scene for the wrong reasons. Let me see what Christian says. Christian on YouTube says Rittenhouse was older but illegal firearm. Hopefully they don't make an example out of him. Yes. You're absolutely right. He's in a whole nother state talking about Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse went looking for trouble. He went looking for problems. This young man, according to his attorneys, just trying to make some money because he's coming from a bad situation. Because here's the thing. Being a squeegee kid is not a glamorous thing. So if you are out there trying to to clean somebody's windows. I mean, we ain't talking about a lot of money. Fields One on YouTube says black poverty is big business. Okay, look, Fields One, come on. Are you trying to say that this 14-year-old, or now 15-year-old, he was rolling in money, right? He was out there making. No, come on now. Fields One on YouTube says Rittenhouse is white. Everything else is null and void. So according to Fields One on YouTube, everything is just race. That's it. Nothing else. Case closed. End of story. According to Fields One on YouTube. I mean, we've seen evidence of that. We've seen that, but sometimes, America surprises you, and sometimes a good attorney can get you a little bit further. We'll have to see. But Baltimore City is not going to clear corners of the squeegee kids. They're not going to. And they shouldn't. Because here's the thing. You can't, if you outlaw this panhandling thing, right? That means that you gotta stop the firefighters that go in the corner ever so often with their boots out trying to raise money. The police departments, when they go out trying to raise money on the corner. Girl Scouts selling the, Girl Scout cookies and asking for money and support our troop and all that kind of stuff. The marching bands when they're trying to get money to go somewhere. You got to stop that. Oh, the homeless folks can't have that. Right? You're going to make panhandling illegal and you want to start rounding people up. It's not just the squeegee kids. There's more asking and soliciting of money on corners than just the squeegee kids. I know there are a lot of windows in Baltimore City, but come on. But you let Fields One tell it. Fields One on YouTube, he's going to say that these kids are making a whole lot of money out there. Terrell on YouTube says he shouldn't have got out his car. He should have kept it moving. Absolutely. Terrell is absolutely right. I said this from the beginning. He's an adult. Just like we say about Liz Cheney said about Donald Trump. Because Republicans are trying to act like, oh, he was giving bad advice. Donald Trump's a 76-year-old man. He has to be held accountable for his actions, and it wasn't nobody leading this 76-year-old man nowhere. And this 48-year-old man who got off the car, he was angry. He gets a baseball bat. He should have, as an adult, known better. Should have known better. He's an adult. Fields One on YouTube says big business for fake liberals in the 501c3s, not the actual black bodies. All right. Here's the thing. Okay. I have to agree, and I hate to agree with Fields One because Fields One be out there, be like left field sometimes. But yes, fake liberals and the phony nonprofits. Yes, this is the home of crabs, the Inner Harbor, hacks, and fake nonprofits. Definitely. Christian agrees with Terrell. Says that white rage got him killed. Got himself killed. Yes, it is. Yes. White rage. He was angry. He was the he was the male version of a Karen. And you see what happened. Fields One says the secret police and the hit squads will stop the squeegees. They will not be stopped by legislation. The secret police and the hit squads. What are you talking about? This is Baltimore. No, that's not happening in Baltimore. Fields One is talking reckless. Fields One says, look at Terrence Dixon from the Terra Cafe. They will not give him a liquor license to save his life because they cannot have your black business making real money. Yes, it is unfortunate that they won't give him the liquor license. Now, I think that how they justify there is a liquor store across the street from the Terra Cafe, And of course, you may say, well, there's a lot of places where there are clubs, and and it's an entertainment district. And yes, it is not fair how they're doing him. Terrence Dixon is a good guy. He's definitely for the community. He's definitely somebody that's trying to do positive things. I think that it can happen, though. It can happen. It's just, it's going to happen for him. It's just, you got to figure it out. You just got to figure it out. And this is a game. You got to play the game. Just tune in. It's your man, Diamond K, in here, of course, the DiamondKShow.com, onfire-tv.com. We are talking about the squeegee kids in Baltimore and the tragedy that happened last week in downtown Baltimore. And it is unfortunate, definitely, that someone was killed, someone lost their life. But he should have stayed. His 48-year-old, 6'2", 220-pound, he's a father. He should have stayed in the car. He should have stayed in the car or the SUV, whatever, and went on home to his kids. But instead, he had the bright idea to get a bat and go swing it at some young black males, because what's going to happen if I do that? Bow. Hit him with a rock. Bow. Shoot him several times, killing him. Oh, if I was representing this young man, I would lay the case out like this. They saw the guy getting out the car, right? And he was like a monster in a movie. They threw a rock at him. It just dazed him, but he kept coming. And they're in fear. He's 6'2". He's 220 pounds. We're just short little kids. And he kept coming, and they were in fear, and they were scared, and they took the weapon that they've used to protect themselves from the drug-infested neighborhood from which they came, and they shot because they were in fear for their lives. Because the rock didn't stop. It just momentarily dazed them, but he kept coming. So it was the white man or me. That's how I would lay the case out. Yes, I understand it's a bit radical, but they did not hire me as their attorney either. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. It is. And this is the source. Squeegee workers are the source of a lot of division in Baltimore. See, some folks say, oh, squeegee kids don't give me no problems. I never had no issues with squeegee kids. They always polite to me. And then some people are just terrified. But let's understand this. A lot of white people are scared of black people just in general. Just in general. How many times have you gotten on an elevator with a white person and, it's just like really awkward, uncomfortable, awkward. Fellas, you ever walk past an older white lady and she pulls her purse a little closer? You ain't thinking about her. They're in fear. They're automatically in fear. The reason why so many police officers in this country kill black men that are unarmed is because they're in fear. White America fears black men. They do. It's clear and obvious. Clear and obvious. It's clear and obvious, unfortunately. So let's see what else. Big J52 on YouTube says, bro, Baltimore is hustle town, home of the gift card and healthy Holly mares. But seriously, what should be the charge given a gun was used? Big J52. All right. Baltimore is a hustle town. Now, this ain't home of the gift card and the healthy Holly mares, like the way you saying it, like is a whole bunch of gift card mares and a whole bunch of healthy Holly mares. I can point to you every city in this country, every major city in this country has had some type of controversy with an elected official. Let's not act like Baltimore is the only one. Hell, the president impeached twice, credibly accused of rape numerous times. And let's not talk about all of the hustling that the past president did. Don't get me started. Okay? So let's not act like Baltimore is just the source of every scheme that there is, and everywhere else is just, you know what it is. Politicians is just grimy. Yeah, I mean, squeegee kids should not be scary. Squeegee kids should not be scary. Most of the people that commit mass murder in this country are not young black males. They're white males. But y'all more scared of the black ones. Interesting. Interesting. Now I talk about respect. I talk about how you talk to a squeegee kid. Let's say that a squeegee kid comes up to you. Many of them come to me at the light. Most of the time, I say 6 times out of 10, I will say no. I definitely don't want them touching my windows because it's not about cleaning the windows. They don't clean the windows good. It's about raising some money. Now, you may debate what is this money being raised for? Are they going to go get high with this money? Are they going to go buy some weed with this money? What are they doing with this money? When you give somebody some money, I mean, it's up to you whether you do it or not. But let's say you don't want to give them any money. Let's say that you like, nah, I'm good. Thank you. No. You know what I mean? It's a way that you can do it without, without making yourself a target and without being disrespectful. Right? So I haven't had any problems with squeegee kids. I do know some folks who have. Most of them are white people, though. Honestly, most of them are white people, and they're really scary. Get away from my car! Don't touch my car, nigger! It's like that kind of. That's gonna get you problems. That's gonna get you problems. So I think it's about the way that you talk to them. You see him coming to the car, you start rolling the window up, right? You gotta handle and carry yourself a certain kind of way, or else you're gonna be a target, or you're going to invite problems to yourself. That's not just squeegee kids. That's anybody in the hood. Your car, you dropped through the hood. Somebody catch you slipping. They could just be in another car. You could be at the gas station. Somebody can catch you slipping. Stop acting scary out in the streets. I'm just saying. Now, I know Fields is going to talk about, he's going to be talking about this white stuff here. He is. Yeah, I knew it. Fields, every other Fields comment is going to be something about white, this, white, that, white. The squeegee committed the worst crimes in the eyes of white supremacy. He had no fear of white skin. Yeah, I don't know if that's the worst crime. But it was either the squeegee kid or this adult. Now, let's say this. Let's say that these young kids, let's say that there was no gun available, and he killed one of the squeegee kids with his bat. Then what would y'all be saying? What would y'all be saying then? I don't know. I think the narrative would be the same. The squeegee kids are the worst. Black males are the worst. Like, that would still be the narrative. It doesn't matter how you spin it. The black kid has to be the instigator of the violence, right? And he has to get the worst punishment. This has to change. This will change eventually. But it is very important for us to pay attention to what's happening. I really want to teach white people how to maneuver, right? Ice Cube had a song, How to Survive in South Central, right? A place where busting caps was fundamental. I got to teach these white people how to survive in Baltimore City. And the worst, if you're worried about a squeegee kid in Baltimore, if that's your biggest fear, man, you ain't been in the city that long. It's a lot of things that is more scary than that. Now, understand this. Everybody, nothing is monolithic. All the squeegee kids are not in some big gang, some big squeegee gang. Everybody just doing their thing. Just doing their thing. So I understand that some people have been assaulted by folks on the corner trying to raise money cleaning windows. I understand that has happened. Not a surprise, but I mean, somebody can be hurt that does any kind of job, right? But this 15-year-old, denied bail, charged as an adult in the shooting death of a driver in downtown Baltimore. The teen virtually appeared before a judge inside Baltimore City District Court this afternoon. 15-year-old is facing 8 charges, 8, including first and second degree murder, first and second degree assault, use of a firearm in a felony, possession of a handgun, possession of a loaded handgun, and discharging of a firearm. Oh, they laid it on thick. They laid it on thick. They laid it on too thick. Justifiable homicide, says Fields 1. I agree. Let's keep in mind, this was a 14-year-old, 14 years old, 5'6", 126 pounds, and an adult, male, white, 6'2", 220 pounds, swinging a baseball bat. Yeah, he was definitely in fear. If I ever heard self-defense, that's an example of self-defense. Callie's Closet says, those boys harass people all the time. If you don't give them money, they go off on you. Not all of them. No. That's like saying all white people are in the KKK. No, some of them, but not all of them. Come on, Callie. Callie, I need to talk to you too, by the way. Hit me up. We need to connect. Callie, Kalisha. All right. Fields 1 says, same reason and logic will get you nowhere in the world of white supremacy. Okay, Fields, come on. Fields 1, what side are you on? Who are you rooting for here? I don't know who Fields 1 on YouTube is rooting for. Your man Dominic K in here, of course, DominiCShow.com, onfire-tv.com. We are talking about squeegee kids and this latest tragedy in Baltimore. As I said, this 15-year-old facing 8 charges, including first and second degree murder, first and second degree assault, use of a firearm in a felony, possession of a handgun, possession of a loaded handgun, and discharging of a firearm. They are laying it on thick. Man, you would think this guy ran up in the Capitol or something. Man, I do understand. I mean, someone is dead. And that's nothing to, make light of. But this man is dead because he got out of the car, crossing 8 lanes of traffic, swinging a baseball bat at some young black teenagers. Man. Fields 1 says, these young men have minds and bodies second to none. That's why the system creates a false dilemma to stifle them and create artificial idleness. Okay, Fields 1. Thank you very much. Christian, what are you laughing at? Christian is cracking up. Man, and I don't know. Baltimore police say that the teen shot and killed Reynolds after he got out of his car armed with the bat, confronting them. Following an incident at an intersection in downtown Baltimore. July 7th is when this happened. I was in Dallas at the time that this occurred. And I did know, just from knowing how Baltimore works, that we were talking about a white guy. Yeah. I knew that. I think that sometimes Cooler heads prevail. And yes, hopefully we find out exactly what caused him to get out the car. It's going to be hard to put it together because he's dead. Maybe there's some camera footage of the actual altercation. We're going to need some sound. I mean, I'd like to know. What we're going to get is probably, just the side of the squeegee kids and some grainy video. We're not going to really know. But he was angry. He was angry. So attorney Warren Brown and attorney J. Wendell Gordon, who are taking this case pro bono, they are not being paid for this, argued if the teen did in fact shoot Reynolds, it was done in self-defense and he was in fear for his life. Big J52 on YouTube says, nah, the dude is dead because a gun was used. All right, Big J52, let me throw a question at you. Let's say that gun was not used. Let's say that there was no gun present. What would have happened? He would have hit one of these young men in the head with a baseball bat. And then you would be saying what? That's what the squeegee kid got? Is that what you would be saying? Big J52 on YouTube. Please let me know. Let me know what you think about that. Fields1 on YouTube says, I speak 80% of the time from a neutral perspective. 80%? All right. That might be true. I meant to say sound, reason, and logic. I got you. Fields1 is saying that most of the time he's trying to be neutral. All right. I hear you. And then, a lot of times with Fields1, what you say is you talk about things from the perspective of how it is. White people shaping and shifting things unfairly. Right. Sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. That's the part that I am just like, what is Fields1 doing? Right. But I always enjoy Fields1's comments. And he usually does not agree with me, though. Prosecution is, they're going to have a different narrative. The prosecution in this case, they're trying to put this kid away. They're trying to make an example of this kid, prosecution. And it is going to be something else to see. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. 10 seconds. Be back right after this. The Dominic K Show on fire-tv.com.
Visit onfiretv.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.
Welcome back. The Flywire and TFP Entertainment presents the Flywire's 15th annual White Tie Affair. Baltimore's biggest and most celebrated event returns Sunday, July the 24th, 2022. 2022. Why do it? 5 to 10 p.m. Hammerjack's outdoor venue, 1300 Russell Street, downtown Baltimore. After a 2-year wait, the party of the year returns with another exceptional, fun, and elegant red carpet cocktail reception. Music by DJ Kibi, DJ Ton, Super DJ Big L. Tickets on sale right now, hammerjacks.com. So we're talking about squeegee kids and the defense. We're talking about the defense requesting that the teen be placed on home detention in the custody of his maternal grandmother. That's not going to happen. The state has a completely different view of this. The state has a narrative, and they say that this 15-year-old is a threat to public safety. This 15-year-old squeegee kid is a menace. He's a danger. He's dangerous. Prosecutors say that the squeegee kids surrounded and threw rocks at Reynolds, causing him to become disoriented, and that's when the teen shot him. Prosecution also pointed out the teen took off his shirt and ran from the scene after the shooting. The state also mentioned that the teen receives treatment for mood disorder. Yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting case to follow. We're talking about the squeegee kid that has been arrested and charged with 8 counts. 8, count them 8. They are piling this on. The state says that this squeegee kid is a menace to society. He's a threat to public safety. That's what the state is saying. They're saying that this squeegee kid, not only is he going to try to clean your car window badly, but he's a menace. That's what the state wants you to believe. Now, when explaining her reasoning for denying bail, because bail has been denied, explaining her reasoning, the judge pointed out the severity of the charges and specifically mentioned Reynolds was shot while walking away from the squeegee kids. So the judge, taking into account that fact, very interesting. The picture is being painted here. There are 2 different sides. He was walking away. So the state is going to more than likely present a case of he swung the bat to scare him. And then after he swung the bat a few times, and I guess they hit him with the rocks, then he was going to leave. But then they proceeded to kill him. That's how they're gonna lay it out, the state. I mean, you've already seen the he's the public menace and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I am definitely going to be following this and talking about this. Big J52 says, can't keep giving false premises or giving me false premises. We have some facts here. As a black father of 3 in Baltimore, I know, but a gun used is a gun that was available to use. Where is the responsibility? What? All right, let's do this in order, Big J52. Let's do this in order. Because you mentioned the word responsibility. So when we talk about responsibility, does responsibility only work one way? Right? Does responsibility work one way? Let's say that the kid is wrong for killing him, which he had his reason. Is Reynolds wrong for getting out the car and swinging the bat? No. I understand that you're a father of 3. Some white guy getting out of a car swinging a bat at your kids, you're going to say that your kid's reaction to that's what's wrong. That's where responsibility comes in, not the person doing it. Got you. Father of 3. How old are your kids? Callie says, I was speaking on those 3 boys on that particular corner. I drive past them every day on the way to my husband's business. They harass and bully people. I've complained about them to Downtown's Baltimore Tourism Association. So Callie is saying that she has been in contact with, had her windows proposed to be cleaned by said squeegee kids, and her experience with them hasn't been good. Okay. Well, you've been at that corner. You don't know whether you had your windows cleaned by Tavon or your window cleaning was solicited by Tavon, but I get what you're saying. And they're very aggressive. I've passed them as well. I've passed that area at least. I don't know, the actual squeegee folks, but I have passed the area numerous times. And I have an office in downtown Baltimore, so I've passed plenty of times. This took place a few blocks away from my office. So Ayo on Instagram says, let's hope there is video somewhere. I agree. I definitely want to see video. Video is going to tell the tale. Christian says, ain't no way there's not some video from that intersection. Yeah, I mean, there's something. And it may take some time, but there is something out there. And hopefully we get that. You're absolutely right about that. Fields 1, thank you for your donation. Says, when I cruise the urban enclaves in horror in my big, black, beautiful luxury automobile, I usually just give them some money not to touch my windows. I agree. Okay, my car is great, but I feel the same way. I don't want them to touch my car either, right? And I usually, like I said, I would say 4 times out of 10, if I have $1 right there, I'll give them $1. But I say, no, don't touch the car, give you $1. Yes, that is true. I agree with you there. Fields One on YouTube. So we're talking about this, and this teen was arrested in Essex yesterday, exactly 1 week after the murder. 1 week. Like the commercial. 1 week. 1 week. All right. So does the department have a clearer picture of the events leading up to the shooting? That's what I'm concerned about. I want to know the events. They have information, and they're trying to put this case together. Teen arrested in his home 1 week after. No, the police are able to solve crimes like this, then, I mean, I put up some money and then everything gets solved, right? Doesn't always work like that, though. It's interesting. Interesting. So the defense attorneys have released some details about this young man. He goes to Digital Harbor High School, currently enrolled in summer school at Dunbar High School, helps care for his younger siblings, has worked as a squeegee kid for the past 7 years, and has never been in trouble with the law prior to this case. I mean, it's a sad situation. I wish he hadn't killed the man, honestly. But this is where we are. This is where we are. And a case like this is going to completely widen the divide in this city and in this country. Cases like this. AO on YouTube says it's extortion. What? Extortion? I mean, some people probably feel like that. I mean, I've heard people talk about their interactions with squeegee kids, and they represent it like it is, like they feel, I got to give them money. You ain't got to do nothing. But what you should do is stay in your car. Stay in your car. Big J52 says that they're 26, 20, and 14. Thanks. The young man had a used and seemingly illegal weapon. How do we appropriate that responsibility, accountability? All right, but they're two separate things, right? All right, and so they're two separate things. First, you don't think that they're overcharging this kid? Okay, like, hey, a public menace? Are you kidding me? He's a public menace. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yes, maybe the weapon's illegal. I don't know. Maybe it is. So we have to look at his background. He lives in an area that maybe is not the most safe. They're standing on a corner in downtown Baltimore asking folks for money in the streets. So you don't see why he might think he needs a gun? Like I said, at a dice game outside on the corner, there's usually a gun nearby. Why do you think that is? When folks are in the corner, maybe selling drugs, there's probably a gun nearby. Now, one of those are illegal activity. Squeegee work and panhandling is not, but it's a cash business. Now, can a 14-year-old get a gun legally? No. I mean, let Republicans have it in the NRA. Maybe 14-year-olds will be able to have a gun. Then we might be having a different discussion. Tavon Morgan says they're overcharging with that first-degree murder. They're definitely overcharging. My thing is this. We need all of the facts, but on surface, this seems like justifiable homicide and a gun violation. Yeah, I think a gun charge is probably warranted, but depending on the facts, he should have stayed in the car. He should have stayed in the car. Yell something out the window, whatever. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. There's enough wrong to go around, though. The squeegee kid, there's enough wrong here. Tavon, Fields One says, Tavon, that's racist. His name could be Timothy. What? Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. So the teen's family, of course, grandmother, mother, father, attended his bail hearing. Prior to the hearing, they spoke with some of the media. And, they said what you would expect. He's a good kid. The father said, everybody makes mistakes. He's scared. He's never been to jail before. He has no criminal background. I mean, it's hard, considering what he's facing for them to sell that one. It is really hard. But bail denied. Maybe later it'll be different, but bail has been denied. Christian on YouTube says, from their own within the city and irate people on the road, not shocking he has a gun, especially in these times. Is it right? No. But that is the country, and especially the inner cities. You're absolutely right. Now, is it legal? No. I agree with Christian. But this is what it is. This is what it is, and this is the world we live in, especially in Baltimore City and the inner cities. Downtown Baltimore. Tavon says, this is a clash of two different worlds, and it's exposing this city's ugly, racist, economic history. Tavon Morgan, you're absolutely right, but it's been there. All of those things you mentioned. This city, Baltimore, has a very ugly, very racist history. You just can go back a few years. I remember a time in the 90s when we didn't even go to certain places, certain restaurants. Oh, yeah. Double T Dine. Was it Double T? Double T on Route 40? There was a time when black people wasn't even allowed in there like that in my lifetime. This city has a very racist history, And AO saying something. What? Not about race. I dislike all squeegee extortionists equally. All right. I got you. Now, how do you feel when the fire department is on the corner with the boots out asking for money? You feel good about that? How do you feel when it's a marching band saying that we're trying to raise some money to make it to the championships and we need new uniforms? How do you feel about that? When you see a homeless guy or a lady with signs up asking for money, how do you feel about that? I'm just saying, I just want to know. Ayo, on YouTube, how do you feel about that? Is it because the squeegee solicitation is a little bit more aggressive? Because they got to try to get the money. So it's a little bit more aggressive, or a lot more aggressive. And I know that turns some people off. Tavon says, Hampden was racist as hell. Roosevelt Park, Woodbury. Absolutely. Tavon Morgan, you are absolutely right. 100%. 100%. Tavon Morgan says, I'm glad you asked that question. I was about to ask about the Girl Scout extorting people. Absolutely. What about I don't know, is Salvation Army the ones that ring the bells? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah, they're definitely trying. This country has a whole lot of that extortion stuff. Whole lot of it. But my thing is this, if we just target the squeegee kids, right? We gotta target all of it. Begging. Squeegee kids want to separate themselves because they're saying we're offering a service. So we not like those that's just asking you for money but not giving you something in return. That's how they look at it. Fields One on YouTube says each charge represents a dollar amount in the U.S. stock exchange to tap into his sub-security trust account. Crime is big business. Crime is definitely big business. And the state and federal levels, they're the ones making the money. Not these folks on the streets. They're not making the real money. The feds on the state level, that's who's making the money. So this case is going to be, when this thing goes to trial, oh my God. When this thing goes to trial, I don't know. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that every squeegee interaction is going to be polite. And I'm saying just because you speak to them with respect, that all of them are going to act accordingly. But you got some Karens out here that act crazy too. Y'all just not scared of them. Y'all just not scared of them. I don't know. Now, according to, current some laws, squeegee kids, maybe what they're doing violates some code. I think there's some code and ordinance that they're violating, right? I don't know. But just prosecuting a squeegee kid just because they out there with a squeegee in their hand and a bucket, I don't think that is where we need to go. Police charging this kid. I mean, they're charging this kid. Arrested in Essex. 6:30 in the morning yesterday. Now, there is some video. Video of the encounter shows Reynolds stopping his car and crossing 8 lanes of traffic holding a bat. We got video of that. Now, Reynolds never actually hit anyone with the bat. He does swing the bat in their direction. One of the young people threw a rock at Reynolds' head, according to reports. At that point, Reynolds became disoriented, hitting the head with a rock, and then 5 shots. 5. So the picture is starting to get a little bit clearer, but we have a long way to go with regards to that. Christian says cable and energy solicits much more aggressive than squeegee workers, man. Yes. And they at your doorstep, McDonald's and Popeye workers are just as aggressive. Oh, man. Fields One says, where are the so-called Jewish squeegees, Indian squeegees, Asian squeegees? Okay, good point. I don't think I've ever seen any of those. But I don't drive through Jewish and Indian neighborhoods, so maybe I need to know where they live. Preservation is the first law of nature. Racism, white supremacy says you're guilty. Well, it is important. It is important that we go for jury selection, jury duty. A lot of this is going to depend on who's sitting in the courtroom when this case happens too. A lot's going to depend on that. Listen, I don't see a great future for this young man, this squeegee kid. He's going to do some time. He's going to do some time. But he's 15 years old. Never been in trouble before. Someone is dead. He didn't rob him. He didn't break in his house or steal his car or something like that. It's a different situation altogether. So hopefully as more facts come out, I don't think that this kid should go to jail for the rest of his life and never see the light of day. 14 years old at the time of the murder last week. 14 years old. Fields One on YouTube says Thurgood Marshall's son is a head member of the CCA Prison Corporation, and we love Thurgood Marshall and his son. Send our children to jail. Oh, Fields One, you are on something today. We ain't got time to be teaching the folks that much today. We'll have to do that next time. Good. Fields One is Fields One, I gotta have you on the show sometime, man. But you pretty much have been on the show today with some of these great comments. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, onfire-tv.com. I don't know. This case has really been something. You have those cases. And this is one of those cases. This is one of those cases that we're going to be talking about for quite some time. And the thing about it is that squeegee kids are on the corner right now. As we are talking right now, squeegee kids on the corner trying to mess up somebody's window right now. Also in other Baltimore news, 2 floors of a parking garage collapsed at the Inner Harbor. And here's what's so crazy about this. This is right near where this happened. What we're talking about right now. The parking garage collapsed on Pratt Street. 1 East Pratt Street. That's just so crazy. I mean, this is blocks away from my office. So it collapsed this morning. According to officials, firefighters were on the scene. And, it's just one of those things that the first and the second floor of the garage collapsed. It is crazy. Of course, they closed Charles Street, Conway, and West Lee Street. There were about 50 vehicles in the garage. Yeah, I parked I'm very close to this. Very close to this. So that it's just so crazy. So crazy. You just never know how it's going to go. You just never know. But thankfully, everybody is okay. It's one of those crazy things. And stay tuned. We got a little bit more. Final numbers are in for the early voting. Ahead of Tuesday's primary, the 19th, it goes down. Now, for the 8-day period which ended last night, the State Board of Elections reports that more than 172,000 people voted early. That represents a little bit more than 4.5% of the state's eligible voters. That total includes nearly 47,000 people who voted yesterday, by far the largest one-day total in the early voting period. So folks were worried. It's not a lot of people voting early. So hopefully folks come out on Tuesday. Twice as many Democrats voted. Twice as many Democrats, over Republicans voted early. But ballots are being counted with results to be released after polls close on Tuesday night. We're going to be here for election coverage, 8 p.m. on Tuesday. And, talking about these races. who's going to be the next governor of Maryland. We'll be a step closer to knowing the answer to that after these primaries are up. Then, of course, going in November. November is when it goes down. Mayor Brandon Scott met with business and community leaders on squeegee issues. Squeegee issues. Next thing you know, they're going to create a department of squeegee affairs. But Brandon Scott met with city business leaders, elected officials, and what the mayor is calling individuals with lived experiences. People that used to be squeegee workers, obviously, talking about the tragedy, what can be done going forward. It's a lot to unpack there, and we're going to be talking about this for quite some time. Christian on YouTube says, anyone but Hogan at this rate, Mr. Refund the Police. Look, I'm glad that Hogan is leaving. I have long talked about my thoughts on Governor Hogan. And y'all want to talk about, some of the controversies surrounding our past mayors and whatever, illegal activity they may or may not have done. But when it comes to some of these males, the numbers it does not equal out. We come down hard on black female mayors, though. Wow. I will be back here tomorrow in the mix, 6 p.m. But of course, any information you need about me, marketing at thediamondkshow.com or djdiamondk@gmail.com. Of course, search The Diamond K Show on YouTube. Subscribe to my page, right? Subscribe to my page. Come on now. But like I said, I'll be in the mix tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Democratic primaries take place on the 19th. Also, Republican primaries here in Maryland. We'll be back here. I'll be back on Monday for the Diamond K Show. But as far as election coverage, 8 p.m. election night, we are going to be talking about all the races, the winners, and where we are with everything. This is a exciting time that we live in. I'll see you guys.
Visit OnFireTV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.